What is up, everybody? T-Off Sports here from Win Daily Sports, and I will be taking you through my course breakdown for this week's Arnold Palmer Invitational. We have Bay Hill Club and Lodge, 7,466 yards, par 72, fast Bermuda greens. Last five winners of the tournament have been Scotty Scheffler, 5 under in 2022, Bryson DeChambeau, 11 under in 2021. In 2020, we saw Tyrrell Hatton win this at 4 under, Francesco Molinari in 2019 at 12 under, and Rory McIlroy in 2018 at 18 under. You get the general idea of the inconsistency of the layout from those scores I just mentioned, and the awkward nature has continued into the dispersion of scoring when we look at those various iterations of the contest. There was a massive increase in strokes gained around the green in 2022, whereas 2021 heightened approach and 2020 emphasized off the tee returns. That level sometimes makes a handicapping process more straightforward when statistics like putting won't be as impactful to scoring. However, the lack of statistical predictability turns this contest into a nightmare for most golf pundits to try and run numbers for because of the overall uncertainty yearly. There are a handful of reasons for the volatile returns that I just mentioned, most notably the weather, which could be one of those answers again and play heavily into this week's outcome. That will be better decided as we approach Thursday morning, but the current advantage does show late Thursday and early Friday if we're looking at tee times, if you're trying to avoid the afternoon gusts in round two. You know, for anybody out there listening, I always give this reply when we talk about external components, but I'm not the biggest weather advocate since ownership will start to condense in all the same areas to account for those factors when we talk about DFS. I will say that it does matter when we discuss courses with tons of water. That's something we get here where players can be wiped out if the advantage becomes evident for the week. But a lot can change with the forecast from day to day, making it a little sketchier than most would lead you to believe. You know, I don't want that comment to get overblown, no pun intended there, since it does clearly matter, but I'd rather use it as a tiebreaker over anything else that dictates someone must be added or removed since they received the perceived wrong end of the draw. I'm different than most people with that viewpoint, but so many factors could change the perceived advantage that I'm talking about right now. Like a couple examples. What if round one doesn't finish and players get a late start Friday? What if the PGA Tour decides to stop play because of the win for any duration of time over the first 2 days? It just comes down to that we aren't sure how this is going to play out on any level. So I always try to become more cautious in full fading or playing someone because of any outside factor that might come into play. Overall, an all-around game will go a long way for those trying to succeed, but that answer always limits metrics since anyone who excels in one of the three main strokes gained categories can triumph over the venue. That I believe that means a basic tee to green calculation probably solves what we are trying to accomplish versus over-analyzing the potentially faulty data. And when we add in the reprojected scoring and ball striking to some of those remeasured numbers that highlight course-specific factors, such as how someone performs on long, difficult courses or fast Bermuda, we start to get a simple model that can be highly effective when it comes to figuring out the optimal game theory route for the week. Before I let everyone get out of here, I just very quickly wanted to run through the top five of my model. So that would be Jon Rahm, number 1, Rory McIlroy, number 2, Scotty Scheffler, 3, Xander Schauffele, 4, and Sungjae Im, 5. If you would like more answers like that, we hope you consider signing up for our Win Daily Gold membership for as little as $5.99 a week. The entire team is in there to help you make informative decisions, and you can also tune into our PGA DraftCast show every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 Eastern, if you want to take part in the most interactive golf podcast in the space with David Bieleski, Sia Nejad, Joel Schreck, and myself. Once again, I appreciate everyone tuning in today as I very quickly went over some thoughts for this week's API tournament, and I will see you guys back here again next week.